Welcome to the Killing Podcast, Episode 8, Stonewalled. I'm your host, Martha Southgate.
And I'm Rob Southgate. Oh my gosh. This is the one that we cheated and watched the first minute of?
Yes.
The beginning of this was awesome.
Yeah, it's good that we went back, though, because I missed something, I didn't notice a lot in the first time I saw it.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, and so when we saw it the second time, I noticed a little bit more of what was going on in the room.
Okay.
With the mattresses, with all the kid stuff.
The stuff that it showed. Yeah,
stuffed animals. There was little kid purses.
Yeah, I think the first time when we watched that minute, I think that it was just so shocking seeing them on the ground and everything. We just wanted to see if there was resolution of that quickly. Mm-hmm. We didn't really look at what was going on in that room.
We weren't watching it to take notes or to really pay attention. We were just needed to have that closure. We needed to just know that we could sleep that night. Pretty much.
Right. Because, it could have been the end of the series right there, and then the rest of the episodes are just credits.
Yes.
It's kind of
boring.
Yeah. So it starts out with, like we said, they're pinned on the floor, they're laying on the floor. They're not pinned.
Well,
the FBI is standing around. They're calling it in, and we see this girl's stuff. We see this T-shirt. I can't remember.
Grand Canyon.
Grand Canyon. It says across the T-shirt. It's obviously a little girl's. We see a purse.
Not necessarily a little girl's. It's a girl's though. It's a teenager. It's a kid size. It's not a.
It's a kid size.
Some of the stuff was really little, very young girls, maybe 8 to 10. Some of the stuff looked very young, but the T-shirt was,
more like a teenager. Okay. Yeah, I don't really know what's going on there. I just knew it was young girls' stuff. And Sarah is looking at that as she's laying there. She's got that face that she gets when she's kind of examining and taking it in. Holder, on the other hand, is giving the FBI a bunch of crap, which is what he does. Where he's like, yeah, this is going to look great tomorrow in the paper that, you guys busted 2 homicide detectives. Exactly. Nice work, guys. And they're just calling in to find out, what's going on, why this went south here.
And the FBI, had stormed in and said that they were ruining their terrorism, and they had done 3 years?
Yeah.
Of a terrorism
investigation. Yeah, and they said they potentially have compromised a terrorism investigation here.
And they're thinking, how is this terrorism? We're hunting down missing girls. What does that have? So I'm thinking human trafficking or child porn or something like that.
Well, you know what? What I was thinking is the same thing you were, but I was also thinking these guys are tied into all sorts of things. Yeah. So with the FBI looking at terrorism, with them looking at, potential child abduction, I think these guys are just bad guys. Mm-hmm. They're involved in all sorts of crap. Mm-hmm. So it's understandable there'd be overlap here. But Holder and Linden really kind of stumbled into this.
Well, I think the thing that upset me the most about this scene was that the FBI didn't care about any of the stuff going on in the room.
That's because their deal, they are counterterrorism. Mm-hmm. They are looking for terrorists. They're looking at the national threat. So when you think about what's going on here, their concern is this larger scope concern.
That doesn't make me feel better.
No.
Because they're doing something to young girls.
Something is going on in there. But
and they didn't even blink. They didn't care. They didn't...
Well, we don't know that they didn't care.
I know they care. I know they didn't care.
What we know is that they didn't want Linden and Holder going in and ruining the 3 years worth of work that they'd put into it. They're building a case, and they got to make sure that they can stop any type of terrorist activity and that they can make this stick.
So you're on the FBI's side?
No.
I'm not.
I'm not, but I understand it. Mm-hmm. So, this was a very sticky situation for all parties. Yeah. And their captain is also put in a bad position because he can't let them go in there and do anything.
Yeah,
because
so they're giving
now
orders
you've got
to
feds
stay away.
Involved.
Yep.
So
it's the FBI's jurisdiction. You have to stay away. and until you can get more evidence and get a search warrant. But otherwise, you're done.
And to Sarah, she just keeps saying that she doesn't want her crime scene compromised. Mm-hmm. They're going to mess this thing up. And the captain's like, look, it's out of our hands.
And she needs that shirt.
She needs that shirt.
Yeah.
Because she knows there's something up with that shirt. Mm-hmm.
So Sarah's going to Reggie's boat.
Right.
And she sits down at her computer and, no emails. Like, I thought that was kind of interesting. It's like she's so...
Well, she's looking for emails from the aggressive kisser.
No, but she has no emails from anybody.
Yeah, she has nothing.
I mean, I go on and I have like 50 million emails each time, because even if it's spam or something, like she's
Cialis ads and stuff.
I mean, she just seems like she's got nothing. I'm like, how do you have no email? Like, she's just that isolated. Like,
right. Yeah, she is.
She just doesn't have anybody.
She's off the grid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of interesting.
But she was looking for something from the aggressive kisser. He's still avoiding her. She also, when she opened it up, I didn't understand what she saw, but I think it was crime scene photos, and she goes, Jack. So she knew he had been in on her computer.
Oh, okay.
So I
saw that.
know.
I thought it was a video game,
it was
or
something. But he was on her computer, and that is her
we
work
find out
computer.
later.
Yes, we find out there was more to it. But at that point, you find out she just didn't want him on her computer. Mm-hmm. And whatever it is, I thought that he was looking at like photos that she may have, or maybe it was a game. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. So she calls Rick, and a girl named Emmy, a woman named Emmy, answers. You could tell she's a young woman.
Right.
And she intercepts her call, and Sarah looks very suspicious. She has quite the look on her face.
She's suspicious of Emmy?
And she said, "What are you doing there today?" And she said, we had work today. No, there's something going on.
I don't pick up on that kind of stuff. I'm thinking that maybe she works for him, and that
she does. But there's something.
What I thought Sarah didn't like is the fact that she knows that she's intercepting the call, but you're thinking there's something more.
Oh, there's definitely something more. And she's suspicious.
So maybe Emmy has a little thing for the aggressive kisser.
She's very suspicious of this. And then Jack walks in and says, "Let me guess."
Rick and Emmy sitting in a tree, aggressive KISSING.
Yeah, so Jack walks in, he says, "Let me guess. He kind of knows you don't really want to go."
Right.
And she won't admit it.
She's defensive about it.
Because she won't admit it.
Well,
she's not there yet to be able to say,
Jack can clearly see.
I mean, anyone with eyes can clearly see.
Jack doesn't want to go, but he can clearly see she's avoiding.
Absolutely. But there's anyone with a brain can see what is, right out there and obvious. If she wanted to go, she would have been there.
Right.
And
so he walks out. And she starts looking through. She gets that email, because that was something we didn't say. She called in asking for evidence pics.
She called Ray.
Okay.
Asking for all the pictures from the case.
And she starts going through.
That's why I thought he didn't see that. I thought it was a game.
That's why I said I didn't think it was evidence of that.
Yeah.
I was saying I think that he was just going through what was on her computer. But then she got the pictures from Ray, and then we find out that, well, we'll get to that. But I think that I don't think it was out of order. I just think it wasn't necessarily clear. Maybe she had said you shouldn't be looking through old crime scene photos or something like that.
I don't know,
because that would have clarified what was going on there.
And then the screen says day 8. So believe it or not, we are only 8 days.
Yeah,
it's only been 8 days of all this, considering how much.
Well, it's understandable. I mean, the funeral was just in the last episode. Mm-hmm. So you have to figure, or not the last episode, the previous one. Mm-hmm. So you have to figure you're at about a week, even though this is felt a lot longer.
Well, and imagine what it feels like to Stan and Mitch, know.
And, really, if you go by that, this is episode 8. So we are going, each episode is a day, pretty much. Now, I don't know if that'll stay, if that's how this is going to continue, but that's where we're at right now.
Yeah. So we're in Stan and Mitch's house, and one of the boys breaks a bowl.
Yeah.
Stan is on the phone, and he's clearly stressed out, talking about work. And
he's frustrated by
he's losing work, and
all
he's
of
not,
this.
Things are not working out well.
Well, and just think, he's gone through burying his daughter and almost killing Bennett the day before. Mm-hmm. So now here we are, and he's just a time bomb.
Yeah.
But he's trying not to be. But then the kid breaks a glass, and you know how that is. It's just frustrating.
Yeah.
And he keeps saying, don't touch it, and he keeps going for it. It's like, come on. Help us out here.
Well, and then Terry calls, and she can't come help.
Right.
So Mitch is in Rosie's room, once again, just sort of steeping herself in her grief and not
right. She's not moving
part of the family.
And Stan asks her, where were you last night? Now, we know where she was. She was outside of Bennett's place. This is when he questions her. And he says, where were you? And she says, I was just out. She had some kind of lie. I just wrote that
she went to the market.
Yeah, but it was a lie. Or maybe she did go, but that's not what she was gone for so long for, and he knows that she's not telling the truth. So now she's going after Bennett. He knows this, or he at least suspects something's up with this. So that was just a very, telling scene that, like, they're at different stages in this process.
Clearly. And then, so then we're in Darren's office. Darren comes in with all these new ideas. He's all fired up, with what to do to fix his campaign.
Uh-huh.
And Gwen and Jamie, seem happy with it. Well, Gwen certainly is. Jamie wants to dig up major dirt on the mayor.
Well, this has been the thing with Jamie the whole time. Jamie is more of a political animal. Mm-hmm. Like he's using whatever he can to his advantage, even when he pretended to work for the mayor and was rooting out the mole. This is who he is.
Yeah.
He's a little slimy about stuff, but at the same time he's not a scumbag. No, not really. He's
I think he'd happily jump in that arena.
Yeah, I think he would,
but
I don't think
with the right people. But
I don't think he's dirty. He thinks the mayor is dirty, which is why he avoids the mayor. Mm-hmm. But he skates the edge.
Yes,
but
that's why I said I think with the
right influencer, right?
Yeah, I think that
but
he
who knows
could
if Gwen,
there.
because her dad is definitely not,
Oh, that guy is not.
Yeah, so Gwen could, we could find out that she doesn't fall far from the tree either.
Mm-hmm. Sarah sees Holder passing an envelope into a car window, and she is not.
Yeah, she's suspicious. Well, let's go back. I mean, she saw him do this before. He said it was blackjack winnings. Then we saw him putting money in a mailbox, and we had assumed that it was like an ex-wife or something, that he was paying alimony because we saw the wife with the kid in there. Now, we still don't know if that's not what's going on.
No, I think that was his sister.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh, I bet it is! The one... Okay.
So her office is getting taken over by the FBI. So they're in there just destroying it and digging out, taking all her stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And the captain is mad about, the pictures being leaked into the press. And Sarah insists it's not her, but she suspects Holder.
Right. Well, and she's very suspicious of him because of this whole thing at the car with the money, and he's standing there, and she's giving him very suspicious looks.
Yes. And so she looks at him, and she says, how's your blackjack game,
Blackjack?
How's your blackjack?
Aren't those big things from Star Wars, the AT-ATs?
Yeah.
No.
I always thought they were the AT-AT walkers.
You know what? Those of us that are hip and in the know call them AT-ATs.
Really?
Uh-huh. You're just not cool.
I don't like that.
You're not cool like that.
No, I don't like it. I'm not going to do it.
So, Black At.
How's your blackjack game? Any payouts? And he looks at her and he asks are you married yet?
Yeah, good dig.
So they're just...
Little barbs going back and forth.
Not
she's
liking each other right now.
She's very suspicious of him, and he's just Holder.
And then poor Holder, they're going over to this meeting with the FBI and the captain, and he kicks Holder out and shuts the door in his face and says, it's only for the primary.
Oh, yeah. Case. And if she wasn't here, guess who'd be the primary? So he's just getting disrespected all over the place.
Ridiculous. I mean, how embarrassing.
But that also ties into what's going on because the captain is...
I just want to say Captain, my captain.
Why?
I don't know.
Because you've got a problem?
Yeah.
Okay, well, Captain and Tennille says to... We already said what he says to him. But the reason I think that he's also saying that is he saw how Sarah was reacting, so now he's suspicious of Holder.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why he did it.
Of course.
But at the same time, he's also doing it because, guess what? You're not the primary.
Yeah.
You need to step up to the plate, buddy. Even though I think he is. He's trying.
He is. She won't let him. I mean, she's a total control freak. And I understand that as a fellow total control freak. I get it.
Oh, you're a fellow in that organization?
Yes.
Oh, I am a fellow in the controlling organization. So Bennett then, did you like my impression of you? I thought that was pretty good. So Bennett gets a call. He's like heading out to work. He gets a call from the Principal
Myers,
who now suggests that he stay home from work.
Mm-hmm. Until he's cleared.
Yeah, and this ticks him off.
Mm-hmm.
He is not having any of this, but
he has no choice.
He has no choice. But
and
he's
she's
just feeling,
right. If you're a suspect in a teenage girl's, one of the students' murders, I would say you don't get to come back to school until you're cleared.
But he's like, no, I'm innocent. I don't
care if you're innocent.
But you know what? We don't know if he's innocent. Yeah. We don't know, and we're watching the show.
No, and it hasn't
Nobody
been
involved
proven,
knows.
So I don't care if he's innocent.
Right.
You have to still stay home until we sort it all out.
Right. But
until Rob and I sort it all out.
Right. Until we do. You stay home, Mr. Bennett.
Because if nothing else, you're guilty of the hair.
Guilty of hair.
Of that, the awful hairstyle.
Yes.
That's got to go.
His dreads. Yeah.
I dread it.
Oh, that was a good one.
So he's guilty of something.
Yeah.
The FBI is sharing
Well, you know what? While he's not in school, he can make money singing with Counting Crows because he has the same hair.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Okay, don't you dare.
Okay, let's just recover the headlines and move on.
Fun of my. Okay. That was a good one.
Thank you.
Not really.
Not really.
So the FBI is sharing
I'm just hanging around making some jokes.
Their info.
Okay.
And they think that Rosie was connected to terrorism.
Right.
And Sarah's just like, that's completely insane.
Right, but they're investigating terrorism, and there is
but is it insane? Because lots of teenage girls do things like that because they want to have a cause, and they want to feel like they're smarter
than... you were in
than...
Amnesty?
Oh my gosh, okay, we can't even talk about that on here, because it's so embarrassing.
You used to go over to these people's house?
No, I would prank call all of them.
Well, yeah, you were a mean
I was
Amnesty
not mean,
person.
I was
But you used
immature.
to go to their house, and it was all because of your love of Peter Gabriel.
I wanted the sweatshirt.
You wanted the sweatshirt?
The sweatshirt from his tour.
Oh, and it had an Amnesty thing on it?
It was sponsored by Amnesty, yeah.
Oh, that's what it was?
That's one of the reasons.
Wow.
It was very shameful. If anyone has ever seen About a Boy...
And you wanted to make a difference.
Oh, no.
But instead you wanted a sweatshirt and you prank called these poor people.
I just wanted to be part of a cause, I think.
So you aren't really Rosie because you wouldn't have fallen in with them. You would have prank called the terrorists.
If anyone has seen the movie About a Boy... My younger me, that was pretty much that whole movie. You just kind of go, wow, really? Oh, and now he's going up to a soup kitchen and turning around.
Yes,
and not everybody.
Pretty much.
Now he's working with Amnesty International.
And
he's hitting on women. I didn't do that, but
You didn't hit on women?
No.
That's on the Orange is the New Black podcast.
It wasn't. I wasn't heartless. I just was immature.
Immature.
I have matured so much.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you have.
Yeah.
Now you're Sheldon from Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
Okay.
Except without the smarts.
Well, I didn't say you were the same brain capacity.
No. We just have the same seat issue, and he has to have a seat. No one can sit there. And
your quirks.
I have his quirks.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes. I would let people play with my electric train if they played by sitting there watching me play with my electric chair.
Yes.
You can't actually touch it.
Yes. You do have an issue with Will Wheaton, too.
Yeah.
We saw him at the Comic-Con, and you seemed to have you were a little standoffish with him.
What?
Is he your enemy?
No.
We'll see next time we run into Will Wheaton.
I just want to say, Will Wheaton. Will Wheaton.
Why? That's so mean. The poor guy. He can't help it that his name is that.
I'm not making fun of his name. Well, I guess.
You are!
Why are we talking about this? Okay.
What?
I don't want to talk about it. Okay.
You don't want to bring your shame up? This is like, I am your sponsor, and I want you to talk about your problems with Amnesty International.
I don't have a problem with Amnesty International. I had a problem with myself.
Right.
Okay? And it was not an issue. Amnesty is a wonderful organization. They shouldn't have let me in.
They shouldn't let a teenage girl...
They should not have let me in. That's the only problem.
Who really only wants the sweatshirt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Rosie wanted the sweatshirt, they think, and fell in with the terrorists. So at least that's what the FBI is suspecting.
Is that where this all came from?
Yes, because they thought she might be involved.
That was a really long segue. So Mitch is driving I hated this scene. I hated this scene. Mitch is driving the boys to school, and they're arguing over a video game, and she can't find something. I thought it was the keys, but I don't. Clearly it wasn't because she had the car on.
Oh, right. I know what scene this is.
So
my gosh.
She's got them in the garage, closed in, leaves the car running, and goes back upstairs. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, these kids are going to die of carbon monoxide.
You called it. Now, I was actually thinking, we've seen his workspace. It seems to be kind of open and airy. I wasn't thinking that was it, but you said it during the scene. And you know what?
I said it while she was just still in the car. And I said, oh no, she's going to leave them in.
She ran up to grab something.
She was looking around for it.
Yeah, she was looking for something. And then she gets distracted because there's a story on the TV about Rosie.
Well, they're showing
and they start showing the pictures of the crime scene, of
her in the trunk and everything. Who would do that?
The plastic.
Who would do that?
Oh, it's terrible. It's the same pictures that we saw Sarah looking at. So we know that these are the leaked photos.
So luckily, Terry comes in.
Yeah.
And saves them.
Yeah. Well, the boys aren't even fazed by it.
It doesn't matter. She could have found him dead.
But she gets in the car immediately, opens the garage door, and they just are like, "Oh, hey, Aunt Terry."
Right.
And she's going, "Oh my gosh, that could have been a disaster."
Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
So Jamie's meeting with that Mark Cuban type guy.
Right.
We don't know his name.
Yeah.
But the guy that was funding...
The guy that funded him.
Yeah, that was funding the campaign. He asks for dirt on the mayor, and the guy says, well, I have dirt, but I haven't used it, because even I have scruples. And I'm thinking, well, Jamie doesn't.
He has scruples? No.
Yeah.
And Jamie certainly doesn't at this point.
No, but if this guy has enough to not do that, then Jamie's sinking really low. Darren is sinking really, really low because this guy's saying, I don't even go there.
As this goes on, he does. But it was pretty rough.
And he says, even I have scruples, as he's watching two men beat the absolute crap out of each other.
Yeah, it was like Fight Club. First rule of Fight Club, you don't talk about Fight Club. Second rule of Fight Club, you don't tell what you know about Mayor Adams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Holder talks to Sarah.
Uh-huh.
And she won't tell him anything about the meeting, and he's mad because now he's
because he's getting frozen out here. In fact, he is episode title Stonewalled. Thank you very much.
Wow.
I threw it back in there. How's that?
Good.
Thank you.
I wasn't sure why it was called that.
And now you know. Because somebody was stonewalled, see?
Jackson. Stonewall Jackson.
Good reference. Woo! All right, Sheldon. So anyway...
I don't think Sheldon would have used that.
No, he wouldn't have used that one. But he would have laughed. Ooh, he made a Stonewall Jackson reference. Now you have to leave and get out of my seat.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, I lost my place. Okay, so Mitch confronts Sarah about putting the pictures out there. And she is just livid that there have been no arrests. There's nothing.
Right.
And now her pictures of her daughter in the trunk.
And she accuses Sarah of doing nothing. Sarah's been doing...
Yeah.
She's been all over this thing, but from Mitch's perspective, she's not doing anything. And I get that. They're not moving fast enough.
Yep.
Things aren't happening. The killer's still out there.
Well, and Sarah would be a lot further along if they didn't keep tying her hands, but they won't give her the search warrants.
Right.
They won't arrest him. They won't let him question him. Like, they just are are tying her hands.
Right. Well, and this story is unraveling. It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And you know what? She's not going to get to a quick resolution of this thing. No way. Yeah, it's been a week. Yeah, that's hard, but this is a huge thing.
And you're not going to Sonoma anytime soon, Sarah.
No. I don't think so.
Well, she's not going at all, ever, I don't think. But she's certainly not going, to...
Right.
To be able to go get married right now.
Right. Okay, so now we've got Darren and Gwen.
Yeah, he can't get the judge to give them a temporary restraining order.
Right. And Darren tells Gwen that he's willing to go negative against Adams. Which, yeah, really? Yeah, you're like jumping, well, no, Jamie's jumping to do it, but Darren is at the end of his rope. He's about to lose this whole thing. He's ticked off because of this whole thing, with the woman who killed his wife, and there's just all this going on. And he's like, look, I'm willing to go negative here. Jamie shows up with something.
With the dirt.
Yeah.
On the mayor. Gwen is not happy that Darren is going down this path.
Right. Now, this is what's interesting. We thought it was something tied to the woman that killed his wife, because what he hands him or what he sees is the letter from the courthouse, the Seattle courthouse. So that we're thinking, okay, or at least I was thinking they're sealed documents. And Adams is somehow tied in with this woman, maybe getting her out of prison or whatever. Well, I was thinking maybe he was involved in getting her out of prison as a distraction to
I see what
Darren.
You're saying.
And he's going to now uncover this like, hey, look, he's playing games with lives. But that's not it. So I don't know why it was a court document like that, unless it was something that was sealed. I don't know. I don't know what that was.
I didn't get that I didn't see that.
Yeah. You didn't see that? Okay. Well, that's what went down.
Okay. So Sarah goes into an FBI van. Well, that was so funny.
Oh my gosh, the guy's standing there, and she comes up and she's like, "Oh,"
she's trying to scam him.
Totally playing the game, like, "Oh, yeah, I'm supposed to be looking in these things." He's like, "Look, I got to talk to my superior. I don't think you're supposed to be over here."
Well, because he says I'm responsible for all this stuff. You can't go in here and take this. And
Dopey turns his back, walks away.
To go ask his superior.
And she jumps right in.
And she starts digging.
She finds the picture of the T-shirt and she takes a picture of it.
Yep.
So that now she has something to work with. And then he comes back and he starts yelling at her and she's like, look, go ahead and tell your superior or go ahead and whatever. You let me past you, you idiot. Exactly. And so that was well played. She got past him.
Well played, Sarah.
Well played, Sarah.
Bennett's comes home. Amber wants to know where he was all day, if he's not allowed to work. And she tells him the police called again asking about Mohammed.
Oh.
And she says, I don't know why you won't just tell them. Just tell them if there's nothing. Oh, right. No.
And he is really upset.
Yeah, he is.
He is not happy about this whole situation.
He's getting mad at her because she's...
Right. And I think he's getting defensive because he's feeling accused and everything.
Well, because he's guilty.
We don't know if he's guilty, but I think he's feeling this guilt because he's associated with these guys that are guilty.
Well, we know at the end he's quite guilty.
We do know he's guilty. He's involved. Mm-hmm. He's involved in something.
Okay, so Mitch is smoking in the garage.
Yeah.
And Sarah comes in with the picture of the T-shirt. And Mitch says... Where did you find that? Like, where did you get that's Rosie's T-shirt from the Grand Canyon. We took her.
And she has a whole story about the T-shirt. So this is super painful for Mitch. She said we thought
she had lost it.
Yes. Super painful for Mitch, but it's putting Rosie there.
For sure.
So now we're getting a bigger story, too. And, they stumbled into that.
Oh, yeah.
If that person hadn't put the thing in her boot,
They never in a million
She wouldn't
years.
have gone looking for that in that.
And the FBI would never have paid any attention to whose T-shirt it was or what was going on. Yeah.
Crazy that thing was found and that she has this picture.
Yeah. Sarah meets with the captain.
Right.
He tells her that it's over.
Right.
The feds overrule her.
And here she is getting closer. And she's like, look, there's this evidence with this T-shirt. And he's just like, the FBI is freezing you out. Done.
Don't care. He doesn't care. And he wants to know why she's not training Holder.
Right.
You treat him like a lapdog.
Well, even though you kind of did too.
Yeah. And she says she has concerns about his ability to be an investigator. And I thought this was really
Well, and keep in mind, we haven't seen what happens here yet. She is very suspicious of him. She thinks that he's doing something illegal. She thinks he's involved in drugs. She thinks all sorts of things are going on. And she thinks he's the leak.
Well, but the captain looks at her and says, you need to be thinking about wrapping it up here.
Right.
So he wants her to leave.
Right. He's had enough of her.
So now she doesn't have the aggressive kisser anymore.
He wants her gone because now he's having trouble with the FBI.
Yeah.
And if he gets rid of her, it can take all that heat off and he can just close the book on this and say, FBI's problem. Because right now it's an unsolved case. That's a bad thing for him. It's a high-profile bad thing. Give it over to the FBI. He can have a press conference. He can just hand it all over, and they'll just drop it. But you know what? It's out of his hair.
Yeah. So she's being stonewalled.
Oh, wow,
on more than one thing. Oh. Because she's stonewalled with him.
So this is Stonewall Jackson's. Because it's multiple.
I got the plural.
Did you get it?
You didn't have to actually
I wasn't sure.
So she's in her car upset because, of course, he just told her, you need to be thinking about wrapping it up here.
Right,
You no longer have a job.
She starts hitting the steering wheel. She is super frustrated.
And Rick still won't talk to her.
Yeah, she tries calling Rick, and he's not talking to her. And Emily, or Emmy doesn't answer.
She takes out a cigarette.
Uh-huh.
And then
kind of holds on to it.
Looks up to see Holder with a man, and he gets in the guy's car.
Oh,
and Sarah follows him.
Yeah, now she's not as interested in her cigarette.
No, she didn't smoke it.
She has a chance to follow.
Yeah.
Now, we knew this is the guy that he was talking to in the car before.
We figured he was his sponsor.
Right. But you don't see him or anything, but we knew this is what's going to happen. He's taking him wherever, but this is that guy that was his sponsor. Mm-hmm. Even though they haven't revealed that he's a sponsor yet, now they do. Yeah. He takes him in and takes him to an AA meeting.
NA, Narcotics Anonymous.
Oh, NA? Okay.
Well, so Stan is home. The boys and Terry are discussing Star Wars. And Stan...
can we talk about this for a second?
Go, you can.
Because
I can't, because it's Star Wars.
Terry is completely right. First of all, she says her favorite movie when she was younger was Star Wars, when she was a kid. Well played, Terry. Then she says Episode 2, or the second movie, is actually Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
You young whippersnappers with your Episode 2 are wrong. Empire Strikes Back is the second. And it's the best one. Mm-hmm. So, I have now gotten off my soapbox. Thank you, Terry, for saying it correctly.
So, Stan thanks her for everything. And he says, where's Mitch? And she says, well, I have something to tell you, but I don't want to tell you because you're going to get mad at her. But she does it anyway. So, she tells him about the kids in the car.
Well, you know what? She has to. She
totally has to. And... it's going to blow up.
Right.
And, no pun intended.
Well, it doesn't blow.
If there was one lit match.
Blow up. It's
she's a smoker. If she came down with a cigarette, that garage would blow up.
No, it wouldn't.
From carbon monoxide?
No, they get poisoned from it.
I think you could blow up.
You think it's combustible?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Okay. Once again proving that you are not Sheldon Cooper.
I am going to look it up.
It would not blow up from that. It's smoke. It's poison smoke. Do we have to pause?
I am looking it up right the heck now.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a short break. You're not going to know it because we're going to come right back to the show. But Martha is now Googling on the iPad. And the next time you hear my voice, which will be moments from now,
you're editing all day. That's annoying. No.
Okay, so you're Googling it.
Okay, carbon monoxide is a flammable, in bold, colorless, odorless, tasteless, toxic gas. Sounds like you. Produced during incomplete combustion of fuel.
That's me too.
So, it is flammable. So if she walked down there with a cigarette after leaving that car running for an extended period of time, you don't know.
Okay.
You don't know.
Okay.
You don't know from carbon monoxide.
I have never heard of a car running and somebody lighting a match and the place blowing up. I have not heard of that. I've heard of poisoning from it. So,
if you haven't heard of it, it doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist.
Okay.
I know
But
everything.
I just proved it.
Okay. I'll go with that.
You're not.
I am going with it.
In your way that says I'm not.
In my way.
Even though every single one. Every Google search. The first thing was carbon monoxide is flammable. That was the first thing on every single one.
I'm agreeing with you. I just have never heard of that. So, you know what? Neither one of us is Sheldon Cooper. Thank you, Google, for solving this. How's that?
Yeah.
Yep. So good thing she didn't light a match.
I knew the answer.
Okay. Then I give it to you. I concede. Stop stonewalling me.
So Sarah watches Holder talking at the Narcotics Anonymous meeting.
Right.
He says he's 6 months clean, and his sister Liz raised him.
Right. Says, you'll notice Liz isn't here. And then he tells this story.
Yeah, he lied.
About how he lied, and then he stole from his nephew, and the nephew saw him.
Well, he said he stole from her, too, and he broke into her house, and he called it, he was on what's a drug one?
Bender?
No, that's alcohol.
I don't know. He was
tweaking. He
was tweaking.
That's
not
what he
twerking.
said. No, but that's how I knew it's Narcotics Anonymous, not alcohol. He was tweaking. He was a drug addict.
Right.
And he said that he stole his nephew's prized gold coin. He was awake staring at him.
Right.
And
maybe the kid was just creepy and had his eyes open while he was sleeping.
My mom used to say she'd sleep with one eye open.
Yeah, creepy.
She'd give my sister nightmares. He was awake staring at him, and Holder just looked at him. Is it Holder? No, I'm all mixed up. Okay. Looked at him and then walked out.
Right.
So
who'd you think it was?
Holden.
No, it's Holder.
I know. So I keep getting him mixed up. Holder, like Mulder.
Right. Who are you confusing him with? Holden
Linden.
Caulfield?
No, Linden.
Okay. Holder and Linden.
Right.
That's why we say Sarah.
Holden and Linder.
That's why we say Sarah and Holder.
Right.
So that you don't get confused.
But I did just get confused.
Okay.
Even though we have that safeguard in place.
Okay, so what happened with Holden? Nah! You fell for it!
I did not.
You did.
I just looked at you.
If this was video, you would have seen the look. Oh no, I got it wrong. Awesome.
So he saw Sarah through the door. He saw, unmistakable. The hair.
She got her phone rang, and he heard it. He looked, and she's running up the stairs.
And he could see the back of her.
Obviously, it's her.
And he knows she's there. She gets a call from a mom from Jack's school. And
who is very upset.
She's very upset with Jack.
Because Jack sent her kid those crime scene photos. Jack is the leak.
Jack's the leak.
Oh. And it's not that he was leaking it to the press. He was sending it out, looking for attention.
But he sent it to he sent it to everyone.
Yes, because he's acting out and whatever.
So, any of them showing their parents, those are worth a lot of money.
That's how the picture got leaked out. All because of Jack.
So now Stan is home, and
No, Stan's not home.
I know, I just went to the same...
Darren
went backwards.
Oh, you went to the top? Well, Darren is at the hearing for the drunk driver that killed Lily.
Yeah.
That's why I thought that Mayor Adams was involved with this, because I thought that there was going to be something tied there, but that wasn't it. It was he was getting the letter about the drunk driver.
Yeah, so I didn't get what you were talking about. The only thing he got was that the date of the court of the hearing.
Right. But I thought it was something else.
The woman who killed his wife is asking for forgiveness.
Right.
Okay, that's not it. For forgiveness.
Okay, Meltillis. So she obviously gets it because Darren is very upset.
Does Meltillis have a stutter?
Yes.
Oh.
He's the one that would sing in the normal voice but would stutter in normal life. He's one that I've talked about before. Not on here, but on other podcasts. Because he's one of those that I'm just kind of fascinated by. I am. It's Mel Tillis. He used to be on Hee Haw sometimes.
I never got into Hee Haw.
So superior.
Yeah, totally. Are you? Yeah, have you met me?
I would watch Hee Haw right now if it was on.
I probably would, too, but I wouldn't enjoy it.
Oh, you'd enjoy it. Roy Clark is on it. You know who that is?
Yes.
See?
He looked like my next-door neighbor when I was growing up.
The guy that invented Silly String?
No, that was the glow sticks that I...
Oh, the guy that invented glow sticks. Yep. You want to share your shame
He wasn't
there?
my neighbor. He was my friend's neighbor, and I flashed him.
Sharing your
when he
shame.
was mowing his lawn, and she said, "You just flashed the guy that invented glow sticks."
I said silly string.
No, it was glow sticks.
It was glow sticks.
Yeah. Not one of my finer moments.
No.
Thankfully, I've matured.
So let's see. Were you wearing the Amnesty sweatshirt when you?
No, this was
him?
before. I was only a freshman in high school.
Jeez, wow, he could get arrested for that.
She had a big picture window.
Oh, and you can't resist.
You resist flashing your boobs. I don't know. Do you do that? People resist that? I don't know. Maybe it was just me.
Oh, Martha.
There was alcohol involved.
Oh my gosh, as a freshman? What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you?
There's so much.
You and Holder need to go to a meeting.
No, because I'm allergic to alcohol, so I can't even drink. But at the time, I didn't, I didn't know.
You didn't know.
Yeah, it was good for a laugh. All right, so...
good times.
It was 3 o'clock in the afternoon, too. It's always...
Oh, jeez. Okay. Can we get back to this? I'm disgusted.
You married me.
Yeah.
All right.
So Darren's obviously disgusted also, much like myself.
Okay, but she killed a woman. I didn't kill anybody. I just
punches the mirror and breaks the mirror because he's so upset.
Yes.
The media then, you can hear, I don't remember if we see it on TV or if it's on the radio, but all they're talking about is the tie of the mosque and the terrorists, and you hear them talking about Bennett Ahmed.
Yes.
So, I mean, this is really...
Jamie and Gwen are watching the news. And
this is blowing up really bad for Bennett. And this whole story is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger in the news now.
Well, what was interesting was...
That's going to make it harder for Holder and Lyndon.
Yes. What's interesting in this scene is Jamie and Gwen discussing Darren behind his back. And so Jamie's saying he's weak. And he's going to lose the election because of it. And Jamie says he will... Jamie said he'll leak the info if Darren says no. So Jamie's
going to go behind his back and do it no matter what, because he wants to ensure that his candidate
wins, because Jamie's out of a job.
Right.
If he doesn't win.
Right.
And Gwen says you're out of a job no matter what.
Yeah.
Because I will tell everyone that you're the one who leaked it.
Right.
But Darren calls and says, "Release the story."
Yeah. Well.
Oh, Gwen was not happy.
He is. You know what? His life is crashing down around him.
He's just done.
So he just turns the corner. He's like, you need to leak this thing.
Yeah.
So then we find Sarah. And she is yelling at Jack, justifiably. And he does mention, or she mentions, that his dad had left 10 years ago.
Yeah, he says, you only care about other people's families. Why don't you just send me to live with Dad? And she says, your dad left 10 years ago. I'm all you've got.
Yeah, so
and she's not even here. She's completely unavailable. And unless she's teaching him how to shoot paintball. But,
right.
That was her only parenting moment. But Reggie's been the one feeding him.
Right.
Reggie's,
he's just off on his own. He's flashing the neighbor. He's sending out these. Yeah, I went there.
Yeah.
Touche.
So embarrassing.
Don't flash our neighbor here. Don't do it.
Ew.
900 years old over there.
Oof.
He didn't invent anything. So
I'm not going.
I'm not going there.
I'm not going anywhere there. Okay.
Uh-oh, I gotcha.
So Mitch
is home. Are you saying it? Mitch is home, and he's calling...
Who's he?
Mitch! Mitch is home, and she's calling Stan. And I can't seem to get through this. Mitch is home, and she's calling Stan. She tells him...
No, she's not calling him. He's standing there, and she says they found one of Rosie's shirts because he wants to...
Oh, right.
He wants to kill her because she had put their sons in jeopardy. And she just looks at him and she says they found one of Rosie's shirts. They're going to arrest the teacher soon. I got confused
by this because
this is when he asks where she's been, and she said at the park thinking.
No.
Oh, that was the market. This one she was at the park.
He says it again. She says she was at the park thinking, and she says they're going to arrest Bennett.
Yeah.
And then she walks in,
and he had packed up Rosie's room.
And it's only been 8 days.
Big no.
It's only been 8 days, and he
says, we've got to focus on the future. And she says, it's been a week.
Right. But he can see what it's doing to her. And it's not that he wants to put Rosie away. It's that he needs to take the reminder out of their face.
Yes.
And you know what? Once again, understandable.
Yeah.
But she is not ready.
No, you can't do that.
On.
You can't tell someone else when they're ready.
No.
So he tells her he knows about the boys, and she needs to take more responsibility.
Oh, yeah. They start throwing blame at each other for all of this.
He should not have let Rosie stay home that weekend.
Right.
So it's coming out now how much she blames him for Rosie.
Even though I don't think she actually does blame him in any way.
But she's just angry. She wants to blame somebody.
Yeah, and they're kind of breaking down a little bit here, even though we saw them coming together in the last episode.
Yeah, this one not so much.
Not so much.
And he yells back at her, if you hadn't been so strict, she wouldn't have hid things from us.
Right.
So oh my gosh, this is
the dirty laundry's coming up. So, but what can you do?
The dirty laundry's coming up?
I don't know what the term would be, but it's bubbling up on them. And
how could laundry bubble up?
It's stuck in the sewer and it's covered in stuff and it's bubbling up. I just created a whole new phrase. No. That's my new catchphrase. The dirty laundry is bubbling up.
Ew. I don't think that's even a thing.
No. I don't know what to call it, but you know what I mean. What I said makes sense.
The skeletons are coming out of the closet.
Oh. They're bubbling out of the closet.
So Darren, Gwen, and Jamie are watching the news. And you see that the mayor has a girlfriend in an apartment.
Yeah, this is what the story was.
The mayor's girlfriend has been outed. All the press is on her, and she's publicly freaking out.
Right. And you know what? Okay, so he didn't want to play those dirty politics, and he didn't want to do this. But you know what? This guy is playing with fire. He's a scumbag.
Yeah.
So, and this girl, why are you doing this to me? Please, because you're having an affair with the mayor.
And I'm sure on their money,
yes.
And he's got her, holed up in an apartment. Yes. Yeah, no, that's not going to work.
Yeah, no, that's not good. So, I thought that was interesting because I didn't see that that's what was going to happen. Mm-hmm. Kind of took me by surprise. But once again, I told you, I was thinking it was something tied to that woman, the drunk driver.
Yeah, I figured it would just be, he was a cross-dresser or something. I don't know. I figured it would just...
Why do you go there?
I go there. My mind just goes there.
He's a cross-dresser.
I figured it would be something, You know
what? That never crossed my mind.
That never cross-dressed your mind?
That never cross-dressed my mind. It was Stonewalled in my brain.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I didn't think about the girlfriend. I thought about cross. And he would really not make an attractive woman, so I don't know why I thought that. But Jack storms off to the boat, and Holder is there.
Oh, yes.
And he says to Sarah, I put a tap on Bennett's phone.
Yes, he goes, I learned a little something from the FBI guy.
Well, he said, I had to do something while you were shutting me out.
Yes.
So he gets to say, you know what, you hurt my feelings because you weren't playing nice in the sandbox.
Right. We hear sad Hulk music as he walks around. Why? You hurt my feelings.
And he looks at her and he says, is there something you want to ask me?
Yeah.
And he said, what you see is what you get. And she says, I should have known. Subtlety is not your strong suit.
Yeah, that was a good line. Yeah. Yeah, and it's not, by the way. FYI. He asks her...
Oh my gosh, my favorite line in the whole series of all
to be his date. To listen to the wiretap. And love blossomed over on the couch here.
I loved it.
Yep. You loved it. And I think you actually said at that point, Mulder never said anything like that to
I would have died. That would have made my whole life.
Do you want to be my date?
I would have freaked out. So I kind of just let it play out here. I let Mulder and Scully live vicariously through Holder and Sarah.
And she accepts. Yes, Mulder, I will. Mulder, it's me, and I will.
Mm-hmm.
See, that was my Scully impression. I do a better Mulder than I do with Scully.
You're not good with either one.
Mulder, it's me, and yes, I will.
Spam.
Spammity, spam. That's my impression of Scully. I didn't say it's good.
Yeah, so he asks her to be his date.
And then he says he'll drive to their wiretap.
Waiting for Bennett to screw up.
Yes.
She says, yeah, why not? Which was so romantic. Jack would rather be with Reggie anyway, she says, because they are really not doing well together.
Right.
She's not doing well with any of her relationships at the moment.
No.
Mitch is putting the room back together.
Yeah, she's putting up that butterfly.
And you see Stan watch. He walks up and he sees her.
He knows what's up. And he's letting it happen.
And then Gwen is watching Darren look guilty.
Oh, yeah. Well, this is the ending where you're getting that sequence. You're getting those quick cuts of what's going on. Mm-hmm. We see...
Bennett.
Yes.
Bennett's in trouble.
He's arguing with Muhammad on the phone.
About
And he says, don't worry about the police. They don't know anything. Passports will be in tomorrow.
Yeah, and and Amber hears it, and she looks freaked out.
And she hears him say Muhammad. Now,
I don't think she knew what was going on.
He may not be tied in with this with Rosie.
No, but he could be in the terrorist. He's in big trouble.
He's working with these
He's tied in with that room.
Yes,
and Rosie was in that room.
And if we go back to the last episode when they were talking about how, when he said that, he took her down to the cage, and I said, well, we don't know that. He might have.
Well, and
it might have started in the cage and ended up there.
She dropped off the Quran. He could be grooming her as a terrorist. So she very well could be part of this.
Yes. So we still don't know what's going on here. And then real quick, right after that scene, we see Holder and Sarah in the car, and he's like, we got to get wherever. We got to hit on the wire.
Yeah.
And
they are on it.
That's where it ends.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yes. Wow.
Yeah, very exciting.
So, and we did not jump ahead to see what happens to the next one. We stopped it there.
We only did it that one time.
I'm dying to know what happens at this point. Because, okay, we don't know, like we've been saying, we don't know if Rosie's involved, if Rosie's just an innocent victim here. Signs are starting to point to her not being. They're also pointing to Bennett being involved and whatever. But we still don't actually know. This is doing a really good job. I have a feeling that real, hard cases are like this. You start unraveling these things and you start finding loose ends and you start finding other things going on, but they may not be leading to what you think they are. So we don't know. We're starting to make some assumptions here, but keep in mind, this is episode 8. There's 13 episodes to this season, and I don't believe that we find out what happened until the next season. So even though it feels like things are moving fast and furious and we're getting there, I don't know if we are. I don't know if we are. And
is Krychek in the next season or the third season?
He's in the third season, I believe.
Well, I'm not allowed. I shouldn't be calling him Krychek.
No. Nicholas Lay. Mm-hmm. Right? Did I say it right? Or is it Nicholas Lee?
Lee.
Okay. Nicholas Lee is in the third season, from what I understand. So we're not even there yet. Well, obviously, we're at episode 8 of the first season.
How is that even?
Oh, I'm tired. Okay, let's end this here, unless you have something more you want to talk about.
Nope.
All right, that's it. Follow us on Facebook. Just look for The Killing Podcast. Follow us on iTunes. Please subscribe. Tell your friends and rate us. It helps. It'll also help other people find this. We want to build momentum for The Killing leading up to the 4th season showing on Netflix. Let's really get behind this thing. And one way you can do that is by getting behind this thing. Rating us and reviewing us on iTunes. Go to Stitcher, follow us there, and get your friends to do it. I know we are. We keep telling everybody, and even when I go to my parents, I try to just subscribe everything and sign up on everything on their stuff because they have no idea how to do it. So please do that. You can follow me on Twitter at rsouthgate, and you can also go to our website where you can see the different shows. You can listen to the different episodes of different things. You can even donate there because that would support us financially, which helps keep this whole thing going, which would be awesome. And the website is www.southgatemediagroup.com. And you'll see icons for all the different shows there. Click on them, it'll take you right to the show, and it's got all the episodes there. I think that wraps it up. I'm Rob Southgate.
And I'm Martha Southgate.
And who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe next time we'll find out who did kill Rosie Larson.